Imagine a Roman legion, the pride of the empire, marching straight into an ambush in the German forests. Thousands of soldiers will die, the eagles will be lost. Why? Because intelligence failed. Espionage isn't about exploding watches and expensive suits. It's an ancient, dirty job where the main gadget is human psychology, and the price of failure is an empire. And this game had its superstars, its own James Bonds, just without the tux. Let's meet one, we'll call him Gaius. He's not a legionary, he's a speculator. Think of him as Roman Black Ops. His office isn't the battlefield, it's a dusty market in enemy territory, where pretending to be a wine merchant, he listens to the drunken ramblings of mercenaries. His prime directive? Figure out where that barbarian army is moving, and stop his legion from walking into that very ambush. Gaius has an obsession. He must be invisible, a total chameleon. He's been method acting the role of a grumpy Gallic merchant for so long, he almost believes it himself. That's his strength, but it's also his greatest vulnerability. Picture it. Gaius is in a tavern, complaining about taxes and laughing loudly at a local's joke. But his eyes are like scanners, recording everything. The guards have new swords, a weapons shipment just dropped, and that chieftain over there is drinking expensive Falernian wine. Where'd he get that? Clearly, a down payment for a future raid. Gaius pays for his beer and leaves, his brain a flash drive of priceless data. But now Gaius has the intel that will save the Legion. What's next? It's 1900 years before email. He can't just hit send. He needs a system, and the Persians were geniuses at this. They essentially launched the world's first, truly imperial courier network, the Angarium. Think of it as the Amazon Prime of 400 BCE. It was a network of postal stations, spaced a day's horse ride apart. A courier would ride all day, fly into the station, hand the bag to a fresh courier with a fresh horse, and that guy would instantly tear off. Herodotus wrote that nothing in the world moves faster than these couriers, neither snow nor rain nor heat. Yep, that's the same motto the U.S. Postal Service would later borrow. Quick clarification, that phrase isn't the official USPS motto, but it's famously associated with the service. This system solved the main problem. How does the king in Susa find out what's happening on the borders while it's still relevant? The cleverest part? It wasn't just mail, it was the eyes and ears of the king. The courier would also report on the mood in the provinces. And the dumbest part? The system was so fast, officials themselves were terrified of it. If you sent the king bad news, he found out very quickly. It's like having your work slack-wired directly into the CEO's brain. So, Gaius has a way to send his report. But what if the courier is intercepted? The enemy must not read the dispatch. This is where a subtle piece of high-tech comes in. Steganography. It's not encryption. It's the art of hiding in plain sight. The Greeks were masters. The most famous and slowest method. Shave a slave's head, write the message on his scalp, wait for the hair to grow back, and send the slave to the recipient. There, he'd be shaved again. A quick note, using slaves as carriers reflects the brutal reality of antiquity. We are describing the practice, not condoning it. But Gaius doesn't have time for a haircut to grow out. He needs something faster. He uses invisible ink, milk or lemon juice, for example. The papyrus looks blank. An enemy patrol sees the blank sheet and lets the courier go. But back at Legion HQ, that sheet is heated over a candle, and the full report appears. 2,000 barbarians, waiting at the river crossing. Ambush! These methods are found in ancient sources and anecdotes. Historians debate how common they actually were. This trick kicked off a full-blown arms race. Counterintelligence started heating every suspicious document that came into their hands. Now imagine Gaius's ultimate nightmare. He risked his life, he got the data, he sent it via the fastest post, hidden with invisible ink, and the Legion still gets wiped out. Why? Because the information he stole was fake. It was the enemy's grand idea. Disinformation. Why risk a battle when you can just feed your opponent the data you want them to have? The Chinese strategist Sun Tzu built a career on this, stating, "All warfare is a path of deception." Why did it work? Because it hits the main bug in the human OS. We don't believe the truth. We believe what we want to believe, or what we most fear. If an enemy king is afraid of a conspiracy, just plant a fake letter saying his best general is a traitor. He'll execute the general himself and weaken his own army. It's the original phishing scam, but instead of your credit card details, the scammer gets a whole kingdom. Sometimes the disinfo was so good, the creators themselves started to believe it. Start a rumor about plague in the enemy camp, and suddenly your own soldiers are afraid to attack. And what about the common people in all this? Let's say you're a regular craftsman in Rome. Your life was simple, but now the emperor, like our Gaius, becomes obsessed with security. The city floods with informer state-sponsored snitches who get paid for any rumors of disloyalty. And there you are, in a tavern. 2 drunk soldiers are complaining about the price of bread. What do? Stay silent? But what if someone reports that you heard it and said nothing? Report it yourself and get your coins, but become the snitch your entire street despises. People tried to adapt. They went into internal exile, not a word about politics, just the weather. They learned to read between the lines of official decrees. Some gamed the system, reporting total nonsense just to check the box and show loyalty. Life became a minefield, where any careless word could get you sent to the galleys. Your best friend could be the one writing reports on you. So what's the price of this spy game? Who is the main victim? The truth. When a state becomes a paranoiac, truth loses all value. Only useful information has value. And what's more useful than telling the emperor what he wants to hear? Spies like Gaius start to get it. Instead of real facts, they deliver reports that will please the boss and get them a bonus. The dark side of this is the incredible waste of resources fighting ghosts. The perfect example, Emperor Commodus. He was so afraid of plots that he surrounded himself with a network of spies who spied on each other. In the end, he trusted no one except a handful of friends. To be fair, many factors led to his fall. The paranoia and snitch network were a major part of it. Those friends eventually murdered him. He built a system to protect himself, but it just filtered out every honest person, leaving him with only the most skilled liars. A brilliant self-own. So how did they spy in ancient times? They didn't hack servers, they hacked people. They used the same tools as today: greed, fear, vanity, and good old-fashioned deception. The tech has changed, but the operating system in our heads hasn't. Not one bit. This game of truth and lies hasn't gone anywhere. If you've ever caught yourself instantly believing a screaming headline or a leaked piece of info that perfectly confirms your worldview, congratulations, the ancient methods still work. Let me know in the comments, which of these tricks seems the most modern to you? And next time, we'll talk about what happened when guys like Gaius finally got caught. And believe me, ancient interrogation methods were just as psychological. See you then!